Hey y'all, welcome back to Clay to Canopy. This is going to be me busting out working on the Woodland Feast. And since this is also my 2-year anniversary, I'm gonna have a vlog weekend. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 9:45. I am a little bit of a late start today. Last night I took the fruit in to try and finish them, and it took a long time to X-Acto knife my lines. I did everything up till painting in the last brown line, and I did that early this morning at about 7:45, and then I took care of some basic house tasks. I'm moving a little bit slow today. My hands are not feeling so hot. Basically, last night, that Quest pizza we attempted to have for dinner was absolutely gross. I don't want to say absolutely gross. It was unsatisfying, and it tasted like cafeteria pizza when you were like in grade school. So needless to say, we ended up ordering something else, and I got pasta, and now I've had too many carbs and I'm a bit swollen. Today is going to be a heavy protein day for me to try and wipe my system. Mostly shakes, probably some eggs, maybe some shrimp, just heavy protein. And then tonight we'll be having a tofu stir fry that Sarah's gonna make. It will be from vegetables from the garden, so I will take a picture of that. I'm not cooking it, so I won't film the recipe. Tomorrow morning I'm gonna run to the grocery store to pick up some things because I want to try making a vegan pozole. That I will film as part of this vlog. I am about to go ahead and pull the tape off of these, deal with the cleanup if there is any. There probably will be slight cleanup that I have to do, some scraping, then get these packaged up so I can bring them to campus. I do need to have one more glue up to go. Sorry, no, I have 2 glue ups for the peanuts. The second to last glue up, and I'll do that one today, and then tomorrow I should be at the very last glue up for the peanut. And then finally, I will be getting to work on that egg, the egg that keeps looming over me. And I got a cat at my feet. That is the plan. Once I cut up those Christmas trees the other day and realized that my table is going to be a little bit smaller than I originally envisioned, I have now added another piece of furniture to this new environment. I'm working that out. Thankfully, I did not have to worry about dealing with a mushroom. All right, let's get on with today. I created a Reels while I was pulling off the tape and threw that up on Instagram. So just a reminder, if you are not following me on Instagram, I've been trying to get better at doing that. I'm about to reset up for a glue up now that I've cleaned, and I'm gonna eat something, trying to do all of that all at once. Oh, come on. Good day, man. This is what happens with me and carbs, and I need to not have carbs. Usually it ends up being pasta or, something involving bread if I'm ordering out, that I'm feeling hurting for it the next day. So here we are. Now I'm gonna take this apart down here on the floor so I don't have to lift the clamps up and then pop them down. Seriously, think what I just said had made no kind of sense. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. So I realize there's a lot of vegan and vegetarian options out there. However, I cannot have anything that has mainly a wheat derivative. So anything that's Vita wheat, gluten, or heavily relies on wheat as their filler, like the Gardein products, it kills my hand. Within a half an hour, my hand is completely inflamed. I have this massive sharp pains in my nerves. That is the main reason why I can't rely on those. So finding alternatives that are not high in fat and not high in carbs. The alternative is pea proteins. Tracking them down has been really difficult. There's like 2 products that I know that I can eat and not have any weird reactions to. One is going to be the dairy and chicken that I'm going to be using for, hopefully if I can find it, for the pozole. The other is the one I use for the chicken tacos. They have been out of stock for several weeks now. Anyhow, thankfully there's no alignment on this one. Yes? No. Just 2 flat pieces. The flat ones are so easy because I don't have to deal with aligning the bits on the inside. I will have to align this to the final piece. It's getting much trickier to find places to put clamps that have enough support. The girls are chasing each other. Alright, I'm gonna finish this off on the floor. I was gonna unclamp the other one and put the clamps up, but I think I'll wait till tomorrow and give my hands a bit of a rest as much as I can. I'm gonna reset and get ready for the egg. I'm so excited right now. I'm so happy to be returning to the egg. You have no idea. Not even just about the egg itself, just the excitement of getting to a point where I can finally get to it. There's been just so many other things this weekend. Alright, so I need to throw on a layer of primer on my face and grab something to clean this respirator. My face is super sensitive. I need to make a barrier between that and the respirator because I will have like a hella breakout. I already have bits of things popping up. So usually I try and just throw on a bit of a primer. I do this when I'm going to campus too and I'm all around the clay dust, because it will just act as a barrier from my face getting in contact with all of the dust and whatnot in the air. I'm sure you know I don't wear makeup, but I do occasionally wear primer. So I think that the rest of my studio day here is gonna be this. I'm gonna be trying to make a go at finishing up this egg as best I can. There's only so much footage of me tacking on bits that I can really put in a video before people are like, you know, what the hell am I watching? So I don't like, this is like where I'm just shooting kind of b-roll on the weekends as I'm building things up, and I'm just here and there taking shots as it progressively gets larger that I can kind of cut together. This is usually one of those things where I'll be out here all day until 3-4 o'clock and only have maybe 30 seconds of footage by the time I'm done. I'm gonna shut up now, and oh, I should have grabbed my headphones and my book, my audio book. See, not functioning right. Nope, nope, nope. All right, I need to just like zone out. Pretty much throw the respirator on when I'm doing the main solder lines, and for the tacking, because I need to have the safety glasses on for the glass grinding, I don't wear the respirator because I'm in an open garage. Behind you is all open. I will fit the glass and whatnot with just some safety glasses, because wearing the mask and the safety glass fogs up the glasses. Y'all know what I'm talking about if you wear masks with glasses and respirators. Just want to make sure it's ready to go, and I usually keep it in my bag so that it's clean until I start filling in the big lines. Come on, where are we at? The Pensieve, chapter 30. Alright, so I'm not going to bore you. I doubt you want to watch me for the next 4 hours grinding glass and doing this. I will catch up with you probably later this afternoon when I switch things up. It is about 3 o'clock. I am not nearly as far along as I wanted to be. It got really hot here today. I was hoping to get the whole egg worked. I'm close though. I will most definitely be still working on this egg tomorrow, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I think I got about another hour's worth of work in me that I can continue pushing through. Alright, it has been half an hour. I'm getting kind of fried, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw on my respirator, fill in my lines. Before I do all that, I gotta put all this glass away, get as much stuff out of my way as possible. That will be that for this evening. 4 days, I'm pretty burnt after 4 days of solid work out here, plus life and all the, regular distraction. Also, my headphones died, so, now I'm standing out here not having anything to listen to. The last thing I need. Still gotta do that glue up tomorrow. I need a bigger studio. Alright, y'all. I'm calling it a night. I will see ya in the morning. Good morning, y'all. It is Monday morning. I have run a few errands so I can make this pozole. I should finish the egg, but I'm kind of going back and forth between how I want to handle that because I really don't want this vlog to give away too much for the Woodland Feast. So I might move on and do a different task that needs doing. That way I'm not giving away too much in this vlog. We'll see how that unfolds. I have started with some coffee today. I have yet to eat anything. It is 9 o'clock. I got some mail, and in the mail I have this recipe for chicken pozole, and I thought, what the heck, I'm gonna try and make it. I've never made pozole before, and I am going to do this vegan. This recipe calls for blending up everything and throwing it in the crock pot. Now, I am not a fan of crock pot cooking. I mean, I totally get the idea of why you do things in a crock pot, but it never quite works out the way I would hope it to, and I feel like I lose too much flavor. So I'm gonna do all of this stove top, and I'm gonna adapt some of this recipe. This is a recipe that came with my retirement savings plan. So what the heck, we're gonna go for it. I'm using daring chicken, something that I found at Albertsons here in California. It's pretty interesting, I should say. If it's not cooked properly, it kind of feels like the texture of it is a little bit spongy, so you have to really cook it well. I'm gonna try and push its limits. Y'all excuse my dirty kitchen. I seriously need to clean this house. It's a mess. This is what happens when I am in work mode, not enough hours in the day. So it looks like chicken pieces. The ingredients on this stuff is soy. It's pretty low in fat, so I got 2 grams of fat for 90 calories, 3 servings per bag. I usually just split the bag between the two of us. I'd be looking at 120 calories. Oh no, 60, 45, my gosh. Can't do math too early in the morning. 135-ish, I think, with 3 grams of fat. And then that would give me 21 grams of protein. I'm using 2 packages because that recipe called for 3 chicken breasts. I don't know if this is going to be enough, but we shall see. I'm gonna pop this in the microwave on the defrost setting for a couple minutes. And there's this giant can of hominy. The recipe called for this giant can. Seems like an awful lot to me, but yeah. So I got my first round of chicken. I have a pan over here heating up. I'm gonna just pat this dry a bit. Throw some cooking spray in my pan. Alright, while that's going, get the second batch in to the microwave. Now I can move on to starting some other prep. A bit of onion. The recipe does not call for onion, but anytime I saute something, I always add in some onion. Now I will be blending this so I don't have to go crazy about cutting up all of these bits. I have 2 poblano peppers and 2 jalapeno peppers. It does ask for a serrano, but I can't deal with too much heat. And it also calls for leaving in the seeds, but I will be de-seeding. Got my second batch of chicken. I'm going to do the first batch first, and then once those come out, I'll throw these in. It's going to be a bit of a process having to pre-cook all of these things first. But I really think that that's the way to bring out as much flavor as you can. Just to keep a waist go around used to do this. Add some spray, get that second batch in. I got most of the seeds out with that shaky little shake thing I did. Shaky shake. Oh yeah, you can tell it's early morning. There's like a couple hours just before lunch and a couple hours just before dinner where I'm totally focused, totally there. Early morning, I'm just like, what's my name again? I'm gonna loosely chop these. I'm just gonna throw all of this, the onions and the peppers in the pan, and give it a little bit of a saute. Ooh, totally forgot about the tomatillos. Alrighty. Alright. This works out well. Sarah will finally have a reason to grow tomatillos in the garden. I didn't really try out many recipes, but we also didn't have enough to do a full recipe. They're kind of not like tomatoes. You can't just pop them in your mouth. I mean, I suppose you could, but I'm not a fan of just popping them in my mouth this way. I kind of want to roast these first in the oven. Maybe I will do that. I'm going to turn the oven on to 450 degrees, give these a rinse, and I'm going to roast them. So I got a cookie sheet out. I'm just going to cut these in half, throw them on the cookie sheet, and roast them a bit. Apparently picked a bad one. Ooh, bad all the way through. We're dumping that one. Good thing I grabbed a couple extra. Tiny kitchen, y'all. Tiny kitchen. Someday, when I get enough subscribers, I will be able to afford a much larger kitchen. It's such a chore when I do the cooking videos because I have to redo the garage and set it into food prep mode. I sterilized the counters, put out the counter I use for the cooking stuff, and then the backdrop. It's a process, let's just say. So, if y'all liking what you're seeing, tell your friends so I can up my subscribers and at least have an excuse to get a bigger space to work in. Up or down? I think I'm gonna put these down, get a good roast on the skin. I suppose I could have put them on broil. Would be a heck of a lot faster. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. All right, the very last thing I need to prep is the cilantro. So I got the tomatillos in for about 5 minutes. I'm going to check on them after 5 minutes. Get the broiler on. My peppers are still sauteing, my pepper and my onion. As soon as that pepper and onion is done, it's all going to go into the blender along with the tomatillos. The tomatillos got a nice color on them from the broiler. It is 9:53. This has taken me almost an hour to prep everything. Where the heck did I put the lid? Too early, still too early, too early, too early. Forgot the oregano. All I have is dried. I think that the one outside still hasn't bounced back yet. Alright, I'm going to attempt to shred this chicken. Alright, shreds. I think what I'm going to do is put this on hold for a second, get the pan heated. This sauce can get going. It calls for 4 cups of chicken stock. I'm going to use the one I get from Whole Foods. It is actually vegan. I don't know why it just says vegetarian. Why are you yelling? I hear you. Mama, I cannot pick you up right now, sweetheart. I need to finish what I'm doing. Oh, okay. I hear you. Can we have cuddle times after I finish the soup, okay? This is a big can of corn. It says to drain and rinse these, so I'm going to do that. My chicken is shredded. I did taste the broth and it needs some salt. Yes, Ma, I'm not ignoring you. I'm going to add a handful of salt, some pepper. I'd like to use cracked pepper. I'm not a pepper fan, but the fresh stuff is okay by me. I think should be enough for now. I'll taste it again in a minute. But this can had a recipe on it, and there are some spices in here that I did not add. Garlic, cumin, and coriander. So I think I'm going to add those to it, give it a flavor boost. And I'm going to drain and rinse this like it says Mama. And I'm going to pick up this kitty who's yelling at me. I know. Okay, here. Missy, we are cooking here. We're cooking. You cannot sit on my shoulder when I cook. Okay, you can stay. Okay, I'm sorry. Mommy loves you. Okay. Calm your butt down. Say hello. Sit on my shoulder. Cuddle time. Okay. I know, I'm trying to cook. I'm trying to do things. This is a bit thick. I might add some more stock to this. Maybe not. There's no room in the pan. I normally like to add fresh garlic, but this has already been blended. I should have done this prior to blending, so I'm just going to use some powdered garlic. I think it's pretty obvious at this point. I do not follow directions, and I don't really measure much either. It's more of a feeling. Cooking, I learned to cook in an Italian kitchen with feeling, with love. I have to go on instinct when it comes to cooking. This is a lot of corn. This is what it said though. I have to transfer this to some bigger pot. I don't even have room for the chicken. Let's give it a minute to marry and then I'm gonna taste it. Need something. I feel like it's more salt. That's much better. All right, in goes the chicken, and it says to cook for 20 minutes on the can. I am not happy with the thickness. This is stew. I need to get a bigger pot. This has got to go into a bigger pot, and I need to add more broth. So, to complete this meal, I will be harvesting a cabbage from the garden. We do have radish growing out there. Sarah said they're a little too bitter for the season because it was not cold enough while they were maturing. I have some radish in the refrigerator so that I'm going to use too, so I'll just use those. I'm going to jump out to the studio. It is 10:40. It'll be time for that glue up. The lemon tree is overripe and I need to get to that. These are things that I should have taken care of, but it's been kind of go out here this weekend. So that'll be on the list to do today. I am getting really close to the egg, but I did realize last night that I didn't have enough glass cut, so I'm gonna prep some glass for that. I have the last glue up of the peanut to do, and I am itching to do a bit of quilting. I want to get going on the table runner because I need to see how long things are going to take. Sometimes what I do is I will start a task like the egg so I can get a gauge at how much time I need to do this task. After having experienced the last environment and the hexagon quilt, that was just so ridiculous and I felt like I was quilting to the bone. So I really want to make sure that I can gauge this one well. It is much simpler. I am doing a crazy quilting style, so it's going to be much simpler than dealing with the hexagons, and it is much smaller because they are only table runners. But of course there's a twist because you know it's me, it's not just a straight up table runner. Anyhow, I'm gonna get on with cleaning up this area. I'm gonna cut glass before I do the glue up. Alright y'all, this is the last glue up of the peanut. Come on, it's not a good placement. Talk about stress, man. This is it, right? This is the last freaking glue up, and this could totally screw up everything if I don't do it right. This is all of these weeks of gluing up this process, and this one glue up could screw me. So, yeah. No pressure at all. No pressure at all. You know what I'm feeling? I'm feeling strap clamping. Oh, last resort. And it had to be a freaking 80-degree day. It's the last thing you want to be gluing up on an 80-degree day. Aye. Alright, I think that's it. It is what it is. It is what it is. Alright, 1 o'clock. I have harvested 2 5-gallon buckets of lemons and put them outside in a box in front of my house because I just have way too many lemons. I'm still worried about moving this. It's been an hour since I did the glue up. This glue up was a little bit tricky and the clamps that are on here are a little bit, I don't know, I'm a little worried if I pick this up to move it that's gonna bump the clamps and the clamps might fall off. I took some time to make an omelet. This is gonna be lunch. I did have a protein shake earlier. Hopefully, by the time I'm done eating and harvesting those last few things, this will have dried enough for me to move it, along with me trying to get healthier. I have a thing for making environments that also include food. It's a big part of my practice. These environments are not so far off from my solo shows, my art shows. What I would do is also incorporate food into the reception that was thematically part of installation. I did a carnival and I served carnival food. I had corn dogs, doughboys, peanuts, and popcorn. It was all about having this full-on experience, and I really have carried that over into these environments that I'm creating. The garden's important to that. Ultimately, someday, if I can get to where that vision board is, I can have a full working system where I can harvest everything I'm using. Big goals, big dreams, but eventually I will get there. I'm saying it here on camera. I will get there. just moved the peanut and bruised the crap out of myself trying to pick that up. Probably have bruises running all the way down my legs because the last thing I wanted to do was to drop it, and if I had let go, it would have possibly cracked in half, and I did not want to risk that. So yeah, this is going to be a lovely bruise later. I'm going to go ahead and I need to wash down this table now because if there are any little bits of glass, and then also it gets really dusty in here, as I'm sure you probably can imagine with all the woodworking and everything else, and I don't want that dust all over the fabric. Okay, I have hauled out some fabric and I am going to go through a bit of filming for the table runners, and I'm going to talk through part of my process. For the sake of this vlog, I'm going to skip that part because I don't want you all to have to keep watching the same thing over and over again. Anyhow, so, well, how many times can I say so and so and so and yeah. So and and yeah. Anyway, I'll see you later. I'm just going to spend some time digging through my scrap bins here to pull some colors out, keeping with my monochromatic green, light touches of the brown, and look for those bits that I can use for the quilting process. This is what I do. This is me in the studio. What does she do all day? This is what I do. This is what happens when the camera's not rolling. I'm here and playing with fabric, doing random jobs. I don't have an assistant. Seems like something an assistant would do, right? Picking through the bin, finding things. I don't know. I like doing this part of it though. Like, you know what I don't like? Which you could probably guess. I don't like editing. I mean, I like the idea of editing. Editing takes an age, and it's just time that I wish I did not have to lose. Time that I'd rather be here making stuff than dealing with editing. Editing and the time wasted I'd like back for the constant setting up of the camera, the cameras, I should say. Dealing with angles when you're shooting by yourself, I waste a lot of time trying to orient things and make sure that they're like facing the right direction, and then I still end up not having enough things in view. So yeah, that's time I don't want to have to waste. Ooh, look at that. Can you guess what this is from? If you don't, then you got some homework. We'll catch up on some old videos. Never know what you're gonna pull out of the scrap bin for color. Seriously, I pulled out a whole pile of stuff and these bins are still overflowing. I think I need to make more fabric things. That's what it comes down to. Alright, bringing these back inside, and I'm gonna go grab the sewing machine. So I went inside to return those bins and I came across 3 more bins of scraps, and y'all, I think I have a problem. I probably should attend a meeting. It's a bit of an addiction here. If any of y'all know where there's a Starbucks that's maybe in a plaza next to a Joann's, I can call a couple people. We all meet up, discuss things, try to avoid the Joann's. This is insane. This is scraps. Scraps. Yeah. I'm gonna get the sewing machine. Alright y'all, welcome to the first meeting of Fabric Anonymous. My name is Diana and I have a problem. It is just after 3 o'clock and I have hit the heat of the day. It's in the 80s now, and this garage is not insulated, so the heat really can be a bit much for me out here. I think I'm gonna try and spend some time pressing the pieces because they're all wrinkly from being stuck in those bins. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here for this vlog, but I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me this weekend. This is kind of what goes on. A little bit of everything, you know, a little bit of cooking, a little bit of garden harvesting, a little bit of me trying to sort things out, and a whole lot of downtime in the studio and playing with cats. So yeah, that's me in the studio. If you would like to see more vlogs, please comment below. Thanks for hanging out with me. Please like, share, and subscribe if you have not done so already, and I hope to see you soon.